Hello, I'm Debbie Stuart, Women's Minister at Green Acres Baptist Church in Tyler, Texas. I'm delighted to share a quick word for East Texas Crisis Center in support of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I think there may have been some confusion or perhaps there's misunderstanding about what God's Word says about abuse in the home and towards women. And at times, abusers can even use God's Word and use words like submission and authority over you to dominate or to control their victim. So I want to be clear. God's Word states that violence is an offense. It's detestable. It is condemned by God, and it is wicked and evil, and it must be stopped. Now, you will not see the term domestic violence on these pages, but you will see the word oppression, which means crushing or burdening someone by abuse of their power. So if you're experiencing abuse of any kind, I'm not talking just physical, but emotional, psychological, verbal, or spiritual of any kind, I hope that you will reach out for help. Statistics show without intervention, abuse of any kind usually escalates. So it's important for you to know abuse is not your fault. It is not okay. It's not okay with Christians or the church. We do not condone it in any way, but help is available to you.
1 Peter chapter 3 speaks of how wives are supposed to submit to their husbands. This does not mean that wives are supposed to submit to abuse, physical, verbal, mental. They're not to submit to that. What it really intends is for the wife to show by deeds what it means to be a Christian, so that an unbelieving husband may come to faith. Chapter 2, verse 24. A man is to leave his father and his mother and cling to his wife, so that they become one flesh. Flesh does not fight itself. It's flesh of one strength, to help protect that one flesh from the world, not from each other. It is to be one flesh in love and respect and held in dignity.
My name is Rob Jerger. I am the pastoral leader for Saint Francis Episcopal Church, and I am speaking out against domestic violence. Domestic violence does not discriminate based on religion. In fact, many abusers use religion and the Bible as tools for control and manipulation. One of the most commonly used verses is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22, which says, "Wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord." What the abuser fails to recognize is that right before that in verse 21, it says, "Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ." There are also many passages dealing with divorce. Please know this: God does not want you to suffer or be in danger. Christ calls you to love God and to love your neighbor, but Christ also calls you to love yourself. If you are in an abusive situation, be it physical, mental, or emotional, seek help and get out, and know that you are loved by God because you are fearfully and wonderfully made.